Hi everyone. We had promised you a social media event on Zoom and I'm sorry we got hacked, so we had to reschedule. And being the time of year, I thought it might be best to just record it and send it to you. And then if you had any questions, you can direct those to me through email or through social media, whichever you prefer. So I'm going to give you a little bit about my background. I came from a trucking background. I started with McCoshams in the early 70s, and they're furniture movers. And I worked in that industry until the 90s, and I realized there's no money to be made in that. So I needed to make some changes. And I got my real estate license in 1993. I worked with REMAX mostly, and I specialized in land assembly and new construction. And I started looking for a day off, so I teamed up with different partners trying to find a way to work with somebody that was the same energy as me, and I really found that difficult. So a girlfriend of mine who was a realtor and then became a mortgage broker convinced me that brokering was the way to go. So I started my own brokerage 2 years after I worked under a person that I had known from the industry. And in 2008, we joined DLC and we stayed with them until 2016, which I afterwards decided I'd like to be independent again. So in COVID, we started Interest Advantage Elite, which is a couple of partners and me. And I'm definitely not an expert in social media, just a long-term market survivor. So I wanted to share some of the things that I know about it, and hopefully it will help you guys with your social media voyage. So everyone wants to communicate with their friends and family, but not all communication needs to be shared with clients and work associates. Make no mistake, your online followers will be your biggest supporters, but they'll also be your biggest critics. My advice is that you choose one platform and perfect it, and then later on you can add other platforms and round out your social media advertising experience. So Instagram and Facebook, we all know and have known that they have still photos and comments, but maybe many of us don't know now that there's reels and live feeds on both platforms. TikTok I find to be a really interactive platform. I love it. Twitter is becoming a marriage commitment. I don't know. There's so much controversy about it. I'm stepping back. I never was a big Twitter user, but I'm going to wait and see. So whatever you choose, just have a plan and stick to it. It's my opinion that if you're attempting to attract a client base as a mortgage professional, I can't speak today, that doing a shuffle dance on TikTok is not the way to go about it. I have seen my peers advertising that way, but it really doesn't give clients a glimpse at what you do. It's just entertaining. So what are some options? Let's say you wanted to make CHIP mortgages your focus. You'd have to really carefully choose your platform because obviously people who are going to CHIP might not be on TikTok, maybe more likely on Facebook or Instagram. And are first-time buyers looking for you on Facebook? I don't know. They're a younger crowd. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're using Insta or TikTok instead. So give that some consideration before you choose your first platform. So you've chosen your platform and now you want to decide what your style is. There's a lot of different ways to go. I sold real estate in flip-flops and shorts, and I didn't wear a suit. And quite often the seller of the home was confused who's the realtor, who's the client. But for me, that worked well because I was working with first-time buyers and it wasn't intimidating to them. Yes, you're a professional when it comes to negotiation, and that's really where it counts. So I always encourage, just be yourself. Whatever that is, choose it and stick with it. My granddaughter says it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. I don't know if I agree with that, but young ones might. So then we have our profile pictures. And when we look at our profiles, we have to ask ourselves, what does that profile picture say about me? So obviously, these 3 photos of myself are not showing the professional side of me. They're maybe showing a foolish side of me, which is fine, but it's not really the image that I'm looking to project on my social media. And then we look at these 2, and definitely they're in a suit, they're very professional, but what does their profile picture say about them? So in this case, the first case, I'm listening, but hurry up and talk. And the other one too, it's, do I have time for you? Or am I too professional for you? Those are questions you just need to ask yourself ahead of time and keep your postings consistent with your public profile. So obviously you need a camera and your lighting, and for people that don't use Zoom very often or aren't accustomed to photo shoots at home, you can choose ring lights, or I have a homemade cloud light that I made. There's all types of different setups, but you want to make sure that your lighting is flattering and that your camera's not pointed up your nose. I can't tell you how many people I've seen even on Zoom where you're trying to look away instead of, looking at the actual person. So the first thing that people need to know is who you are on your platform. So you need to tell people who you are, what you do, and what you're looking for. And once you've established a clientele, that's when you go live. And going live gives you opportunity for, obviously, for conversation, one-on-one or 1-on-500, depending on how many people are following and listening to you. And if you set up specific days for that, people will look for you. I also suggest that if you're shooting something, that you set up a date where you're putting on your makeup or your outfit and shoot several sessions. So, maybe you're changing your shirt 7 times during the day for your shooting. It just, whatever you plan to do for your best foot forward, make it a routine. So Monday's my shoot day. I know that I'm going to be, getting dressed up and leaving the house outfits. And anyway, so now we want to take a look at what numbers tell you. And when I search through TikTok in particular, I'm looking for mortgage brokers. And up popped a variety of mortgage brokers. It doesn't really tell me where they are because I only searched mortgage advice. I could search mortgage brokers British Columbia, mortgage brokers Canada, but this is what I chose. And you'll see a big variety of followers versus videos. So you see down about halfway, Mortgage Advisor, he's got 5,462 followers, but he only made 21 videos. So is that a lot of videos? Not necessarily. If you look down a little further, Home Buyer Helper, she's got he has 327 videos and only 1,472 followers. So the number of videos don't dictate the clientele or the number of followers or likes that you're going to get. And how many videos are too many is another question. You've got to film them all. So I'm a big fan of content and clarity. Let me just go back here. I saw this guy, and what I really liked about this is he has 5,400 followers, which is probably normal for most of us when you start using this for your job. That's not an unattainable number. But what I liked about his postings is that his captions tell you all about what he's going to talk about. So I can breeze through his videos, pick out what I want to see without having to scroll, and I can tell you my thumb is fast. If I don't see what I want within the first few seconds, I'm gone. And I think most people are. So when I looked at mortgages in Canada, Mortgage BC Canada, we see a big variety. So this Mortgage Girl Canada, she has 287 videos. That's a lot of filming and only 2,880 followers. And we contrast that to down below, 108 videos, 3,900 followers. 33 videos at the top, 10,000 followers. So I would say it's more content, what you're posting, than how many videos you're posting, and that's obvious. So in my search, 27 groups came up. 12 of them had no videos at all. Mo, who's here, who keeps his banner simple, had 173,000 likes, 37,000 followers, and only 75 videos. You'll see again, though, what Mo did here is he puts the captions right up front in big letters so that when you jump on to his bio, you're going to see all of the things. You can pick up what you like and what you don't like. You don't have to listen to them all. So Samantha had a really way out style. but she has 25,000 followers and 138,000 likes. She was very much probably something I wouldn't be on my business website. Very personable, talking about her personal life. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. I just personally don't do that. I don't like negative feedback, maybe. So she puts herself out there, and if you think about, she has 138,000 likes. The likes are great, but the followers are really important. 25,000 followers means that every time she's posting something, they're going to get the opportunity to see it, and that's a lot. So Home Buyer Helper, he's got 1,472 followers, 11,000 likes, but 327 videos, and all of them are a little bit interesting. So kind of reminds me of Alton Brown, if you guys are cooking show specialists. Alton's a famous guy and a very good chef, but his videos are all just a little quirky, and some people like that. The fact that he has 1,400 followers, though, and 11,000 likes tells me that people might think it's funny, but they're not following him for content. So let's talk about your bio. Let's go back to Instagram in this case, and in your bio at the very top in big letters is your username, and that has to be unique to Instagram. So you can't change that. Once you get it, you have it, and that's you. So below is the name field. Both are searchable. So that's a spelling mistake. Both are searchable, so they should be unique characters. You only have 60, and you want to put your keywords and your personal name, etc. in there. The middle section is your bio, and the bio tells people who you are, what you do, and what next steps they need to take. So you only have 150 characters. You want to put where you're from, and in there, that's where you want to put your call to action. So you can use Linktree, which has a multi-link setup, and I would advise you to take a look and see what Linktree has to offer. So when you edit your profile, you use the 60 characters to write your bio. Instagram will erase it if you change anything, so cut and paste, because if you make one letter change, you have to start all over again. So you can only change your name field a few times a year. In bio 1, the spot there, you should put your website link. And for multiple links, use Linktree, and obviously you can sign into that and add. In bio 1, be concise with the titles. Be descriptive about what your offer is. Call to action in our industry could be a foreclosure listing, maybe down payment investment strategies. Whatever it is, put 1 to 2 products in there and a free consult with your website. So suggested scripts. I'm giving you 30 scripts here of things that you could possibly post on your social media. And the first being your intro video, obviously. What is the subject and why do I need it? A lot of people, when they go to write a real estate contract, have no clue what a subject removal is. I think it's really informative to give the buyers, prospective buyers, the kind of information that makes them feel confident when they're writing an offer, that they know what's happening. I remember the first time I wrote an offer on a home, the realtor kept coming back and forth, and that home was only $70,000. It wasn't expensive. It was in Calgary. But as the offers bounced back and forth, I didn't know what the payments were changing to. I didn't know any of that. So I was pretty well panic stricken, and I backed out of the whole situation. So just remember that that fear can be real and can ruin a transaction. Help your realtors to realize the importance of education. So that gives you some suggested scripts, which I'll send over to any who want that. And then for our next session, we want to cover some retirement investment strategies for funding assisted living situations and how you could use this strategy with your realtor relationships. And I'll give you an example. My mother-in-law, her home was only worth $450,000, and she was getting to the point where she couldn't be on her own anymore. So we sold her home. We put her money in a MIC, which gives her enough in combination with her OAS and CPP to pay for the assisted living, which in Vancouver is over $4,000 a year. So I think those kinds of strategies are really helpful for your realtors and for you going forward. Hope you enjoyed this session, and hope you'll join us again for the next one. Thank you.